This is Josh with Lucas Lighting. In this video, we're going to talk about the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, or IIHS. We're going to talk about who they are, what they do, and why did we decide to put their data in our bulb finder. We'll finish off by showing you some examples of good cars and examples of bad cars in terms of headlights. Let's get started. The first vehicle we're going to look up is the 2020 Ford F-150. If you want to look up your own vehicle, head over to lucas-lighting.com and input your year, make, and model into the bulb finder. Also, be sure to check out our bulb finder video for more tips on how to use the bulb finder. Also, keep in mind that IIHS did not start testing vehicles until 2016. So if your vehicle is older than 16, you're not going to have this link. They also didn't test every vehicle. There's a lot of vehicles that are commercial also, like the Ram ProMaster. Those will not be on this as well. If your vehicle is tested, you're going to have a link. They'll give you a brief summary on the testing here. And if you want more details, you can actually click on this link. This link will open up the IIHS page for your vehicle, and it will automatically scroll to the headlight section. Let me show you some things to look for. So there's 3 different headlight variations here. It will tell you the trim level for each variation. So for the first variation, it's for trims XL, XLT, and Lariat. You can see that these vehicles were equipped with halogen reflectors, which is great because we can put Lucas bulbs if there's halogen. Also, if there's HID, we can put Lucas bulbs in with an H2L system. The other 2 variations we'll look at really quick are LED. So this is factory LED. This is also factory LED. Those are not replaceable. So if you have one of these trims, you're not going to be able to upgrade those bulbs. Let's look at the halogen first. So the halogen, very first thing you want to look at is the rating. This rating is poor. There's 4 different ratings. There's poor, marginal, acceptable, and good. This is the worst of the 4. We'll look at more detail on how these tests are done in just a minute, but let me show you this graph here. This is the actual testing graph from this vehicle. You can see that the goal is 200 feet on the driver's side low beam, and they didn't even hit 100. They look like about 80 feet here. If you look at our reaction time video, you'll know that this vehicle is unsafe over 40 miles an hour. They can only drive about 30 or 40 miles an hour at night safely. Otherwise, they risk outrunning their lights. The passenger side is just as bad. We're looking at 325 to 330 as the goal. And we maybe hit 150, so less than half of what the goal is. The high beams also didn't do that great. The high beams were looking at 500 feet. We barely cracked 300 on the driver's side and barely cracked 400 on the passenger side, so that's not very good. One thing that you're looking for too is glare. So if you look at the LED version of this, the LED version of this has excessive glare. That doesn't really hurt us because we're not trying to upgrade these, but if you see an excessive glare on your halogens, you might want to keep in maybe the L1 or L2 range. If you put an L3 or an L5 in a housing that has excessive glare, it's going to be way excessive glare. Let's look at how they test these, and then we'll look up one more vehicle to show you some more examples. So I want to show you a little bit more about IIHS testing and how they do that. So if you head over to iihs.org, if you're already on their screen, you'll just hit the double arrows. That'll bring you to the top, and then click on their logo, and that will bring you to their main page. So what we're looking for is research areas. Oh, but before I get there, if you want to look up your vehicle directly on the IIHS website, you can do that right here. Just type in your year, make, and model, and then you can see the IIHS rating for your vehicle. We're going to click on research areas. And if you've got a lot of spare time, some of these are really cool to look at. But for now, we're going to look at headlights. And they talk all about their headlight testing, why they test it. Nighttime visibility is critical to highway safety. We agree. Not all headlights do their job well. We agree on that too. Good headlights should not cause excessive glare. That's why they test for glare. It's very important. And some new types of headlight technology are helping. We agree there as well. We're always trying to make the road safer as well. If you go down to the bottom of this page, you can see that they're going to talk about headlight evaluations there. They also have a really nice visual here. You can see that the poor rated version of the Hyundai Kona, you can't really even see this person or this animal on the road. The pedestrian is at 140 feet and the deer is at 220 feet. If you look at the good rated 18 to 20 version of the Kona with factory LEDs, you can actually see these objects in the road with plenty of time to stop. Let's look at the evaluations. So if you click on the evaluations page, it's going to bring you to this, and there's a nice visual of part of their rig. So IIHS has a facility that's over 100 acres. They've got crash test facilities that are indoors. They also have these outdoor tracks. This is a really cool lux meter rig. They've got several lux meters on each side, and then they have lux meters on a vertical stand to test for glare. So typically they want to have 5 lux down here, but if they have still a high level of lux up high, then they're going to get an excessive glare rating, which is not great. They give you kind of a quick run about how the vehicles are tested. They're driven on 5 approaches, straightaway, gradual curves, and then tight curves for each direction. So 5 approaches total. And then it's very detailed. They talk about, they test the vehicles as received. They don't change anything. They don't adjust anything. They're very specific about how much fuel and how much weight is in the vehicle. This is the graph that shows you what the goal is for good. So for good on the driver side low beam, we're looking at 200 feet. And on the passenger side low beam, we're looking at 325 to 330 feet. The high beams should be just short of 500 feet. And then you can see the gradual curves as well. Shows you how the vehicles are evaluated. And then the very bottom of that page, it brings you to the headlight evaluation protocols. And this is like really where it gets crazy. They have a protocol that they developed in 2015. And then again, they started testing in 2016. So they developed the protocol during 2015, and then they updated it in 2018. If I click on that, hopefully that doesn't take too long to load here. Yeah, so they talk about, test conditions, all kinds of stuff. You want to go through this and check it out sometime. Here's a nice visual of the test track. You can see that they have 1, 2, 3, 4 different kind of sensor setups. That picture that I just showed you was 2, 3, and 4. 1 was off camera. So they have sensors at each location here, and then sensor 4 is that vertical measurement, which is really cool. So they even factor in pitch angles and things like that. I mean, there's all kinds of really cool stuff in here that shows you how they test. So if you have some time, spend some time reading through this. I don't want to talk about it too much for sake of length, but they are very thorough and they're very scientific and they're non-biased. So they test every vehicle with no bias. And so it's really good to compare. Let's look at one more vehicle and I'll show you some more things to look for. 2016, we're going to go Chevy and we are going to go Colorado. So the 2016 Chevy Colorado is one of the worst rated vehicles for headlights, but there are 2 different variations, and I want to show you the difference between the 2. So we're going to click there. It's going to bring us to IIHS. It's automatically going to scroll to headlights, and so you can see the 2 different variations. So the first variation is halogen projector. So both of them have reflectors for high beam. So it'll say high beam headlight type, halogen reflector, and projector for low beam. The other one is a double reflector. So it's a reflector high beam and low beam. So if you have the Z71 or the LT trim with the luxury package, you're going to have the projector. The projector is rated poor. You can see that it looks better than the F-150. They got almost 200 feet, but they have excessive glare. As soon as you see that excessive glare, you want to make sure that you're looking at maybe L1 or L2 bulbs. If you put too bright of a bulb in there, that excessive glare is going to be just ridiculous. It's a lot. If you look at the other version of this, it is also rated poor, but it does not have excessive glare. You can see that the halogen reflector version of this didn't get quite as far. It's actually quite similar to the F-150. It's maybe even a little worse. It looks like maybe even only 70 feet on the low beam driver side. On the low beam passenger side, it's definitely worse than the F-150. These are both quite short, but there's no high glare rating. So you could put an L3 or an L5 in this maybe and have no problem with glare. So just wanted to highlight the glare section of this. If you do have excessive glare, that is something that you cannot get out of a housing. If it has excessive glare, that's based on the design of the housing. There's nothing you can do there. Make sure that you don't put too bright of a bulb in that kind of a setup. So IIHS started testing vehicle headlights in 2016. A few years later, in 2020, they tested 156 different models. Guess how many tested as good? Only six. So only six out of 156 turned out good. But that's okay because Lucas Lighting has your back. You can install some LEDs from Lucas Lighting, and it will greatly increase your sight distance and your safety. Check out our website at lucaslighting.com or call our technical support number, which we'll share with you next. See better at night with lights from Lucas Lighting. Any additional questions? Call or text 408 623 1380 Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 CST. You may also email support@lucas-lighting.com. Thanks for watching.